What's up, guys? It's Techno Viking 23 coming to you today with some Warframe. And in today's video, we are actually going to be taking a look at Void Relics and talking a little bit about prime part farming. This is not really an advanced guide. This is aimed more at newer players and those of you who are playing Warframe on a free-to-play only account. As you guys know, I do have my free-to-play series where I like to basically go through without using any platinum and try to show newer players how they can enjoy Warframe without having to spend any real money on the game. And I was talking about Baro Ki'Teer in a recent video and mentioned farming up some prime parts to get some Ducats, however you say it, to buy his items, which are very helpful, especially for a free-to-play player to get some really good mods in a game. So essentially, I am on my main Warframe account here. That's why you see my Mag Prime. I actually got Mag Prime through the recent promotion they did with Twitch. If you guys didn't know, you can actually get Twitch Prime if you have Amazon Prime already, which I have Amazon Prime, so pretty much automatically gave me a Twitch Prime account. And if you have a Twitch Prime account and you link it with your Warframe account, you can get a whole bunch of Prime stuff for free. I think I got Rhino Prime, Mag Prime, and a bunch of Prime weapons. So it's a pretty cool deal. If you don't have Twitch Prime, don't worry about signing up for it because you can still get those items in game sometimes, even though some of them are vaulted. They do release them now and then, but just a kind of a cool promotion they did. So if you do have Amazon Prime already, which a lot of you probably do if you buy a lot of things online, definitely check it out because it's an easy way to get some free Prime stuff. But anyways, today back on topic, we are going to be looking at Void Relics. We're going to be talking a little bit about prime part farming, and we may actually go through and run a mission or two. So right now I am on my Mag Prime, but first we're going to walk over here and we're going to go to our Void Relic kiosk on our ship. Now you will have to unlock this through playing the game, so if you're a free-to-play account, if you're just starting out of the game, you're probably not going to have this kiosk open yet on your ship. However, that doesn't prevent you from running Void Relic missions, so don't really worry about it, what we call Void Fissures. So you have several different levels of Void Relics here that you can see. You've got Lith, Meso, Neo, and Axii, and basically those range from the level of difficulty that you're going to have when you go to play that Fissure mission to unlock that relic, with Lith being the easiest, Axii being the hardest, and Meso and Neo being in between. Meso are still pretty easy to run. Neo, depending on what type of mission you run, can be really easy as well. It also depends on your weapons and what frame you're running. And that's going to play into free-to-play accounts a little bit more than if you have like a main Warframe account where you spend platinum a lot. But you can see here you've got all kinds of different kinds. You got Lith A2, Lith B1, Lith S6, Lith B3, Lith B2. And you basically click on that relic. It's going to show you all the possible rewards that can come from that relic. So for example, the Lith A2, you get a Valkyrie Prime Blueprint, Lex Prime Barrel, Formal Blueprints, Cernos Prime, Act Bronco Prime Link, Act Stiletto Prime Blueprint, etc. Now each one of these is going to have a different reward pool, and if you look on the right hand side, it's going to show you your percentage chance at getting that item. So you can see on this one, the Formal Blueprint, Mag Prime, and Ankairos Prime Blueprint are going to drop the most often. The Boltor Prime Receiver, Rhino Prime Mirror Optics, and Boar Prime Stock are going to drop the least often. And we have, you see down here, you have some void points you can spend. You can hold up to 600 of these. You can refine the relic if you want to. What this will basically do, I'll just show you real quick here. Let's say we can do flawless. We can't afford radiant. Radiant's the best. You want to do radiant if you can. We'll go ahead and spend the 50 there. Now you notice it became a flawless relic, so it's changed the percentage drop now. We have a higher chance of getting the Rhino Prime and the Boltor Prime Receiver. Board Prime stock went up a little bit, but not much. Now the cool thing about these is if you run this with a team or if you're in a clan and you run it with 3 other people, you can actually choose from whatever relic they pick in addition. So if you're hunting a particular prime part, if you actually are trying to build a prime Warframe or weapon or item, it's a little bit more economical and efficient to try to run it with clan mates because you can share their relics and they can pick from your relic, you can pick from their relic. A lot of people are going to want you to have radiant relics if they're being jerks about it, whatever. But a lot of people just want to run the Fissure missions and try to get their prime gear and their prime parts. But try your best to get these to at least flawless or radiant so you have a better chance of some of the more rare items. And as you move up into, let's say, Meso, you can see Some of the items are going to be a little bit better when you go up to scale, but you're still going to see things like this one. You have a double chance of getting a Forma blueprint there, which kind of sucks if you're trying to go for prime parts. You can see that Forma kind of pops up in a lot of these. That is actually a good thing, though, for free-to-play players, because it's easier to get Formas that you can use on your items. So that's one good thing, especially early on when you try to farm these things here. So, but this is just kind of a look at the different relics, and you know how you can see what they all offer. I'm not going to go through all of them, and if you want, you can very easily go online and find tables of what each type of relic will offer you in terms of its drop table. But you can see there are a ton of different relics that you can get. So there you have that. You can see all the Axii ones. These usually some of the more rare items are going to be in the Axii relics, and these are going to be the hardest to run. But we'll go through that here in just a second. And so you're probably wondering, how do you get these void relics? Well, there are a couple of different ways. The easiest is just to farm certain missions, and I've been going over farming on my free-to-play series. I'll post some farming videos later so you guys can actually see those. But let's take, for example, let me find a mission here on Venus, if they've got one. Okay, so like here, you got an excavation mission. When you go into these missions, excavation and survival are my two favorite missions to actually run to get Lith relics. You can also do them on defense missions, but I just seem to have more luck with doing excavation and survival. Essentially, in these endless missions, every time you complete the main task of it, you have a chance at getting a relic to drop. So you can do excavation. Every time you get a drill complete, you can actually get a Lith relic. Anytime you finish a wave on defense, you can get a Lith relic, depending on the rotation. Anytime you get through 5 minutes on survival, you can get a Lith relic, depending on the rotation again of what wave you're on. And for things like that, like what wave drops what, again, there's going to be stuff online you guys can look for. I don't really have that on me right now, or a lot of time to go in depth on that. Maybe that would be something I can do in a separate video if you guys are interested. So that's the easiest way, really, to get the relics, and especially if you're on a free-to-play account, that's how you're going to mainly get your relics, by going through and doing those different endless missions or defense missions or whatever you want to do. The other thing you can do is, if you are in a syndicate, you can actually go in, and I'm in Steel Meridian and Red Veil right now. We go in here to Steel Meridian and let her hurry up and talk. Go to offerings, and you can actually get a relic pack for 20,000 standing. These are really easy to get once you're in a syndicate. So this is another way you can buy these. You get 3 random relics with 1 guaranteed to be rare, which is pretty cool. So the 20,000, you can just farm that up playing missions during the day, depending on what your actual amount of reputation is in terms of how much you're limited to. You can see we can only get 11,000 standing today, so actually it would take 2 days to farm up enough to buy a relic pack. But depending on how much you have, you can get those packs pretty easily. The other way to get them is to go to the market, and this is if you're playing on a account where you're buying platinum, or you trade a lot for platinum. Let's see, it's been a while since I played. If I can remember where to find them, I'm just going to go to equipment, because I'm pretty sure it's under equipment. Yeah, so you can get a relic pack in the market, and that's going to cost you 50 platinum, but you do get 5 random relics, which in one is guaranteed to be rare. You get a lot of some of the higher level ones in these a lot of the times. But that's another way you can do it, but since we're mainly doing this for free-to-play purposes, we are not super interested in that right now. So once you have those void relics, what are you going to do with them? Well, you're going to come back over here to navigation, and up in the top right of your navigation panel, you're going to have this little kind of fire icon or flame icon, whatever it is. This is going to tell you exactly what fissure missions are open to you. The more planets you have opened up, the more locations you have opened up, the more of these you're going to be able to do. See, like right now, we have an Axii Fissure, we have another Axii Fissure, another Axii, but these are locked because I haven't unlocked these planet parts just yet. It's planet locations. So the only 2 we have available we can actually run are this Neo Fissure, which is rescue mission, and we have this Lith Fissure, which is a rescue mission. I don't particularly like doing rescue missions, especially on the higher level fissures, because they can tend to be a little difficult with all the enemies, and I'm not really up to that point yet. But the easiest ones to farm that I've found are going to be Exterminate, and then if you can also get usually a defense mission or an excavation, although excavations can bug out on you sometimes where the power core guys won't come around a lot. But for the most part, I usually will just try to find an easier exterminate mission, because you can get through those pretty quickly. Now, if you are just starting out, if we're talking about our free-to-play account, and you want to start farming early stuff to get Ducats to trade in with Baro Ki'Teer, you're going to want to just find the easiest, most efficient one you can, which is usually going to be a Lith Fissure. And what I usually look for at the lower levels is either an excavation or an exterminate, because if there's an exterminate on the Lith Fissure, you usually only have to kill about 35 to 50 enemies when you go through it. It's usually really easy, and you can do them really, really fast, 4 and 5 minute runs at a time. So if you have a lot of Lith Relics, you can get a lot of prime stuff that way. You get a lot of Forma that way. If you're free-to-play account, you don't have to buy Forma then, you can just craft it. So that would be my one tip if you're on the free-to-play account. And on my free-to-play account, I will eventually start doing some of those farming run missions, and we'll go through those. But right now, I think we're only around level 12 or 13. Our weapons aren't very good. We still have the standard Mark 1 weapons we got in the tutorial, and we don't really have a lot of good mods for tackling these prime missions, or these prime part missions, and getting this stuff just yet. You are going to be going up against different kind of enemies, corrupted, Organ type enemies, and they're essentially the main enemies you already fight, but they're kind of reskinned, and they're like gold in color, and they have different abilities, and they're a little bit tougher to take down than your normal enemies. You're going to want to use a lot of, hopefully, slash damage and electric, and also corrosive is really, really good when you're fighting against them. So I think we actually can take on this rescue mission, just to have an easy one, hopefully that I won't screw up while I'm recording the video. But first I'm going to go in and actually change up my loadout a little bit. When I do these farming missions, I like to have my maximum loadout in terms of putting out damage and having a frame that's got quite a bit of survivability, so I don't have to really worry about it. You can see right now I have unranked Mag Prime and Boltor Prime, so we're not going to be taking those into that mission just yet. Let's see what we've got. So we've got Atlas, Chroma, Excalibur, Frost. We haven't touched him yet, or Mag Prime. Let's see, we got Nidus. He makes things way too easy though. Nyx, Nova is a lot of fun. Saren Prime, Rhino Prime, Oberon, Trinity. Usually pretty easy to run with Valkyr Prime. I don't really know what I'm feeling like running with right now, so let's see here. Let's take somebody we've put a little bit of time into. I guess we can go with Mag. We'll just run with normal Mag. I like Mag. It's one of my favorite frames. So we will equip normal Mag. And let's check our upgrades. So we have sniper rifle damage. That's not really all that great. Let's see what else we have. Ooh, okay. So here's a really good mod to use if you are going to run through, is corrosive projection, because this actually will help you get through the armor of these guys. So let's clear all these mods out, and we're actually going to run that, even though it's going to give me a penalty to my overall capacity. And now we're going to be a little bit stuck in terms of what we can equip. So let's see, we want to do redirection. This Mag is a very heavy shield frame. We'll go ahead and throw, well, Vitality's going to cost a lot. Let's see, ability duration. Throw our Streamline on. We'll throw our Intensify on. Go ahead and put Vitality on there. We have a Primed Flow, which I'll stick on there as well. We're going to go with Fast Deflection for shield recharge. Stretch is always good for powers. I'm just trying to see. It's been a while since I've been on this account, so I'm trying to make sure that I actually armor. We really don't need to worry about armor on Mag. So we got continuity. Sprint speed can be good if you're trying to go through and run these as quickly as possible. Shock absorbers. Rapid resilience, that's pretty solid, but we don't really need that for this. I'm kind of just screwing around here. I should just pick a couple things and just go with it, because it's just been a while since I've played. So, alright, I'm going to throw continuity on. Ice Spring, that's pretty cool, but don't really need it. And I guess we'll do Stretch. Although that doesn't leave me much for an Exilus mod if I want to put something on. Which I guess I don't really need one anyways, but like Dash. I'll tell you what, we'll go ahead and put the enemy radar one on there just for kicks. Alright, so now we're going to go into our weapons. And we want to equip a weapon that we've hopefully got leveled up fairly well. Burst and Prime, solid weapon. See, we've got really nothing that's maxed right now. We got the Sobek, which is really good for doing these types of missions. The Tigress, this thing just rips through people. But you can see we have a lot of weapons we just have not really done too much with here. So, I think I'm going to go with the Sobek. A tried and true shot. This is a really solid shotgun that you can get very early in the game. Let's see what kind of upgrades we can put on this thing. Well, it's already pretty much maxed. We got Prime Point Blank for shotgun damage. Charge Shell for electricity. And the only problem here is I don't actually have corrosive damage, which is what we kind of want to have on here. So let's change this up. Corrosive damage is going to make your life a lot easier when you're going through doing these missions. Let me see what I can put on the Burst and Prime if I have enough slots here. See, we have Stormbringer for electricity, and we have Infected Clip. So you can see here we've got Corrosive, which is going to really help us out quite a bit. I'm trying to see what else we've got through here. Prime Cryo Rounds is kind of useless. We've got 24 open slots, so we can put a few things in here. Let's see, we've got Status Chance. Let's see, I'm going to go with Status Chance. And also, see how much our crit chance goes up. 12.5, that's pretty solid. Alright, so we got 6 left. Let's see if we can find something kind of cheap to throw in there. Rifle ammo mutation. I'm not really too worried about running out of ammo. So we'll just toss ammo drum on just for the heck of it. Alright, so going into our secondary, we have the Aximati, which is probably my favorite secondary weapon in the game. And since that's what we have maxed out, that's what we're going to use. These things just rip through everything. They're one of the best weapons in the game. And I love using these things. Alright, so we got Razor Shot, we got Diffusion, Ice Storm, Electricity. I don't think I have Toxic just yet on here. We can get some more. I have to think about dropping Maim on there for more slash damage. I need to go through and redo my build on this weapon, but I do not have any toxic mods, so I cannot get that corrosive. It doesn't matter though, because these things will chew through just about everything. And then we've got the Mire equipped. I've been messing around with that with the Syndicate mod I have. Let's see what else we got we can take with us. We got the Prime, all kinds of Prime stuff. Dark Sword is pretty cool. That's maxed out. Fang Prime, these are pretty useless. I'm not really going to be using melee too much, so I guess we could take the Nikana. That Nikana is always fun, and it has pretty good slash damage. Alright, so we've got Pressure Point, we got Healing Return. Okay, so cool. So we do have corrosive damage on here, so we can tear through these guys pretty easy. Again, corrosive and slash are going to be your friends against these guys, so you definitely want to take that into account. Alright, so now that we are ready to roll, and again, I'm pretty rusty, so if I play like crap, I apologize, but I don't ever try to hide my poor gameplay if I don't play well. Let's just jump right in here. We're going to go into this rescue mission. So it's going to let you choose which relic you want to use before you go into the mission. If you're just farming, it doesn't really matter if you're going to sell the stuff. Which, if you're a free-to-play account, quite honestly, I don't recommend trying to go for prime stuff early on. You're just going to want to try to sell things so that you can actually buy decent mods from Baro Ki'Teer, or possibly a good weapon that he sells. Or you're just farming these to try to get some forma to use on your early items. You know, right now for... Let's just choose, I guess, this one here. Actually, yeah, I'd like to get that Stiletto Prime Blueprint. That would be pretty awesome for my main account, but otherwise we're just going to try to farm up some Prime items so that we can buy some cool stuff from Baro Ki'Teer. But in rescue missions, I tend to play these a little differently. I will just normally try to run through most of the early mission to get to them a little bit more quickly.
This is a rescue mission. We need to find and liberate the hostage before any harm comes to them.
Okay.
There are void fissures in the area.
And of course, I'm going to try to grab most. I'm just addicted to trying to get every single item that I can.
Defend yourself and use reactant to open relics.
Now you can see there it says that we have to collect reactant. We basically have to get 10 reactant drops from the enemies who are coming after you. And in addition to that, you also have to complete the actual mission. So even if you get the fissure unlocked,
What the captors are doing to our rescue target, you need to
you
find the
so
holding cell immediately.
okay. Let's see here.
Use that
You
reactant.
see there, they're dropping reactant. That's what you're going to use to open up your... God, my aim is way off. I've been playing PC way too much.
You are going to need more reactant if you want to open that relic. You're on the sensors now. You've been detected.
That's like good old-fashioned swordplay. Alright, so we've already got 5 out of 10 reactant. This is going pretty easy so far. And it doesn't take a long time to get that reactant normally. Now, keep in mind in certain missions, if you're running an survival mission or if you are running a defense mission, you have to get all 10 reactant within that 5-minute period or within that wave period, or else you... oh my god, could you just hit the 5th one, please? There we go. Or else you will have to start all over again with the next wave. So that's something to keep in mind. Alright, so we want to go that way, obviously, but we're going to go exploring for loot crates. Actually kind of glad to be back playing Warframe again. It's been a little too long since I've been away from the game. But most of my Warframe videos, surprisingly, are doing pretty well. I didn't expect that. I just started making them because I enjoy the game and I kind of wanted to help out some newer players, but they're doing really well in terms of overall views, and people seem to be liking them and getting some good advice out of them, so I'm going to keep on trying to do the Warframe content. Because it's really enjoyable. It's a really fun game. It's really surprising, too, that this is a free-to-play game, and it just has so much value you can get out of it. Alright, so we've already got enough reactant to unlock our relic.
Finish your mission and we'll take a look inside.
So at this point, our only goal is really to get through the mission and complete it. As you can see here, the kinds of enemies we're fighting, there's a lot of Eximus enemies, which can be a little bit tougher. And that's one of the reasons I also suggested that if you're on a free-to-play account, if you're new, even though these are the like early-level Fissure missions, you don't really want to be attempting these until you have decent weapons and gear. Especially if you don't have those mods to make the corrosive damage on your weapons. Because you've got a lot of Eximus enemies show up in these, a lot of bombards, a lot of corrupted gunners, and it can take you down real quick in terms of your health. That's one of the other things about Warframe. I always have so much fun using the different weapons that I forget I have powers a lot of the times. But we'll get our quick use your ability 5 times. Now the alarm here we don't really have to worry about because we're not to the point yet where we have to rescue the prisoners. Alright, we're wasting a little too much time fighting these guys. You don't have to kill everybody. You're eventually going to get to a point where we're going to get into the cell where we have to rescue these guys, and at that point we will kind of have to worry about the alarm a little bit. You can see, even though this is a lower level mission, we're getting a lot of nullifiers, we're getting a lot of bombards, we're getting a lot of corrupted gunners, so you have to be careful. Especially if you don't have a decent frame or you don't have decent weapons. And again, that's one of the reasons I recommend not doing these until you have a pretty good setup.
Alarms successfully hacked. The location is returning to normal security levels.
You see the Aximati, these things just rip through enemies. We're only doing the lower level Fissure missions, but even on the harder ones, these guns just tear through everything. It's one of the reasons I'm actually making a video on these weapons and why you want to go after getting them. They do require you being in a clan if you don't want to pay for them though, so I'm going to go over all that information. Still got a ways to go. Kind of getting bored here. I'm going to try to just run through this. I know you guys don't want to watch 30 minutes of me just killing stuff, so we're going to try to progress this a little bit quicker. But if there's anything you guys are particularly interested in Warframe, especially if you're just starting out, definitely let me know, because you know, I definitely want to try to help you guys, especially if you're playing on an account where you don't want to spend any platinum. Definitely want to help you try to get some better items and gear. Alright, so we're coming up on the rescue point here. Probably going to tell us that there's my little kiosk. I have to open the door. Okay, that's interesting. Am I missing something here? Gotta go upstairs. Okay, that's weird. We gotta unlock this. There we go. And we gotta reset the alarm. Okay, now we should be able to get in.
Alarms have been reset.
Alright. Still got a my goodness, that's a lot of people. Alright, let's just get through this and get to the prisoners.
Touching the holding area. Careful. If the wardens detect you, they will surely initiate the execution sequence.
Okay, so this is where you're gonna have to be careful, and this is where ciphers can come in handy. Trying to see if this bombard is gonna stand there for a while. Oh shoot, that's not good. Another reason it's good to have weapons that are pretty strong, because if you do see the wardens, or you can just go ahead and kill them really fast. But the wardens are normally really hard to kill. And if they set off the alarm, then you don't have much time to save the people you're after. So let's go ahead and get up here and just do this. That's a little tougher than the normal ones. Oh, see, that's what I'm talking about. So we got to figure out which one of these is going to be the guy. Ah, crap. Okay, that's not it. This is the thing. If you have to actually do this, I'm gonna just go ahead and use my ciphers. Makes it a little bit easier. You can see we only have a minute to save the hostage now, since we set off the alarm. And if you don't have good weapons or a good frame with this part, this can get really, really difficult, because you're trying to. There we go. All right, cool. So we got this guy. We're gonna give him our secondary weapon, so he can actually fight back. Oh, that guy's through a window. Okay, cool. And these guys will follow you, and you can kind of run ahead, and they'll come after. They will sort of teleport to you. At least they used to. I don't know if they still do. They might have fixed that. Oh, and he got grabbed by that guy. Oh, that's not good. Another thing too you gotta watch is if you reload around them, you'll end up taking your weapon back. Alright, so let's see, we're gonna try to get out of here. And those corrupted ancients actually will give a buff to damage resistance, so you gotta make sure you're taking those guys out when you see them. As you can see, if you give the hostage a weapon, he's going to have a much easier time fighting back against these guys. They're normally pretty good about following you out. Sometimes the AI gets a little spotty, and they actually will get stuck, or they won't run in the right direction. Oh, this is a lot of dudes. Let's kill a hostage guy. This hasn't been too bad. Like I said, I'm a little rusty at the game right now, but I'm doing all right. This is a really easy mission.
Override successful. Let's get going.
All right, let's get out of here. 120 meters. But yeah, once you get the hang of it, that was a really good jump. But once you get the hang of it, you'll figure out what missions are easier for you to run in terms of the efficiency. Like I said, rescue missions are not really all that great. The only reason I wanted to do this was because it basically was an easy mission to run through real quick. And kind of gave me the purpose of, great, my hostage guy is going to die. Where is he at? There he is. Thankfully, you can resurrect or bring your guys back to life if he gets shot down, so... He can die, and if you let him die, if you don't get to him before he bleeds out, you will fail the mission. So even if you have successfully got your relic opened, you won't be able to get the prime piece that you normally would have. So few more of these items and then we will get to extraction. Alright, so pretty quick and easy there, and of course we got a form of blueprints. Joy. On my main account I don't really need a form of blueprints at all. You can also see that we got void traces, and when I was in that menu improving my relics, we used the void traces to pay for that, so that's how you basically get void traces when you go through. So anyways, guys, this has been a pretty long video. I apologize for the length. I'll try to make these a little shorter in the future, especially when we're trying to go through and do these farming runs, because actually the point is to be more efficient and to do them quickly. But as I said, rescue missions are not the most efficient for running void fissures and getting those prime pieces, but this was just to kind of give you an example. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. As always, I appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions about anything with Warframe, feel free to put it down below, and I'll do my best to answer it, especially for you new players and you free-to-play players. And I will be getting into some more prime part farming and selling to Baro Ki'Teer when I get on my free-to-play account, because this is kind of my main account where I've already got a lot of, you saw already from going through my gear, I've already got a lot of stuff unlocked, so it's not quite the same experience as you'll have as a free-to-play, but where my free-to-play account is right now, we really just don't have the weapons or the mods to be taking on these Void Fissure missions just yet. But anyways, guys, like I said, any questions at all, feel free to leave them down below. Hope you guys are having a great day. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you again next time.